Although it had me listed as Mr. Joseph Martin.
What did you want to be?
That's incorrect.
It needs to change.
Doctor.
It needs to change that to
Doctor.
doctor. But I didn't want to. I didn't want to bring it up there.
You should have brought that. Excuse me.
Excuse me. This is wrong. Can we pencil this in, please?
Who chairs it? Tony.
Well, Tony usually does, I guess, but he wasn't there. I think he was working. So Steve Hunsley chaired it. Duncan was there as well. Steve Hunsley had 2 roles last night. It did make me laugh a bit. He was there as like assistant chairman or whatever it is. So he started it, but he was also treasurer or accountant or something. So he had to do a statement as chairman, and then said, "And now I will do on
Hand over to the treasurer."
And he changed seats. He moved to the next seat along. It made me laugh a lot. It was funny.
Yeah. I think I might have said this to you before. I'll gladly do pretty much anything for Lowerhouse. I will. I'm a big club man. I'll do anything for the club, but I will not be a league rep.
There's no way that I would be a league rep, unfortunately. But you do need them. But I couldn't. But I don't think I could do it. But I thought morally, because of why Stan couldn't be there, I thought I will.
You'll step into the breach.
If nobody said anything, I have no doubt that he would have gone.
Yeah.
And that wasn't fair. So, yeah. Jez.
Yes, Joe.
Really sorry, Paddy can't make it. And the reason for that, is where my sister lives. I don't know. She's got some kind of like new house thing. The handle of the door, a front door, has come off, so she can't get into a house. So Paddy's trying to sort it at the minute because he's a handy man.
He isn't really.
He's very practical, Jez.
He's very practical.
He's got a lot of tools.
Yeah.
You want to see the number of tools he's got? Not excluding me. Hiya, Gaz.
Evening, gentlemen.
Hey, Gary.
You all well?
Yeah, good. I'm glad you didn't dial in on time, Gary, because you would have lost 5 minutes of your life. You'd never have got back with these 2 idiots.
The Joe show.
Harsh. Very harsh.
They both, I don't know how old, but going on 80, whinging and moaning about stuff. Rather than doing it, Gary, like me and you, they whinge about it and I won't do this, I won't do that, I can't do that.
Do it. You weren't even there, Jez. And you're supposed to be.
I wasn't. Give me apologies.
I was there in 2 roles last night. I was there as Lowerhouse rep and EDI lead.
I'll have Elon after you. You get one of them titles, Joe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got an email from him this week actually asking me for 5 bullet points of what I've done. What I've done well.
Yeah. That'd be a good thing on here, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes there's got some good bits in this early section that Joe manages to get in, and it's quite funny, but I don't seem to be going that way this time. I suppose Paddy saving his sister because she's locked out is quite interesting. How she got locked out, Joe?
I think I don't know. So I'm gonna put some hypotheses together. I think she would have come down the stairs, locked the door, and as she locked the door, the handle dropped off, and it can't get back on.
Jez, in your professional capacity, you've interviewed a lot of criminals who lie to your face, haven't you? What in terms of credibility, what are you giving this story out of 10?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how she's done it.
It's below 2.
What do you mean? I have made it up. I will tell you that I've made it up because I don't know what the answer is, Jez.
So has Alex told you that, or
No, I don't know anything.
you've made it up?
I've guessed at what's happened. I know two ends of this story. I don't know the middle. I know that she can't get into a house because the handle's dropped off the door. I don't know how it happened or where to begin.
It just dropped off.
I don't know, Jez. Yeah, I'm not locksmith.
It's a dog ate me homework excuses, that.
I'm not Yale. I'm not from Yale or Timpson's. How am I supposed to know?
Or Harvard.
Gordon, send more house to save the house.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lowerhouse Cricket Club podcast. It's still winter, I think, but we're getting closer towards spring. It's a little bit lighter each night. A lovely day today around here. I don't know about elsewhere, but spring's just round the corner. Again, we've got a fantastic team on to bring this podcast to you. Hopefully, we've got some good stories. We've got a good guest that's coming on. Bit of breaking news, and hopefully you'll all enjoy it. But first of all, I'll go through the other hosts. We've got Joe Beneducci. All right, Dooch?
All right, Jez.
Good lad. Gary from all the way down south. Gaz, you all right?
All right, Jez Grand.
Good lad. And we've got Joe Martin. Hey, Joe.
Hi, Jeremy. How are you?
What we're going to do on this episode, we've got some discussions to run through with each other. We've got the draw to do, and we've got a guest coming on who's taken up a new role at Lowerhouse. We booked him probably 3 weeks ago. Looking forward to chatting to him to see how the role came about. It's quite a significant part he'll play, and it's a move forward, which is fantastic. Not many other clubs have done it yet, so great work on having Paddy Martin on a little bit later. Okay,
and
so
we were supposed to record this on Monday as well. We moved it to Thursday just to accommodate Paddy, didn't we? If you remember.
That's right. Yeah, we were all today isn't really that convenient for me, so we moved from Monday. So it's good that we can get him on and get it in, because we could have had other guests on if Paddy couldn't make it.
But we'd have had to entertain Gav as well.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah, because Gav can't do Thursdays. So what I want to do is just have a look through a little bit of news that's going on. And Joe Martin, if you can just go through. And the nets have started yet?
Yes, the nets have started. I think it's going well. The APP stuff's gone well. The junior training's gone well. The senior nets start next week.
Week today.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Thursday next week. It's all going well. Lots of things going on at the minute. Really well planned by everybody as well. So it's excellent.
Good. And when you say planned, I mean the venues are a lot different. We chatted about this, I think, on the last podcast or the one before, around. And it's not just, we used to go to the Thompson Centre on a Sunday night, bowl as many bouncers as you could against each other and go for a pint. So it's all changed as that. Is the format, is there anything you can discuss about the format, Joe?
Yeah, I think it's even different from when I first started going to nets. I think the junior setup's pretty similar actually, in that there's a lot of skills and drills to begin with, then you split off into nets with some of the older ones, like a 5-week split, if you like. But for the seniors, I think that you probably, from memory, you probably used to do like a 10-week hour, 9 till 10 on a Friday night. And that severely impacts my social life, Jez, as you know.
Yeah.
Whereas now, I think there are they're probably there aren't as many, but I would say they're probably a little bit more intense, maybe.
Right, good.
And it's great to have Danny here as well, who's going to obviously run a lot of those sessions. So he'll have a big impact on those, making sure that we're working on the right things, and it feels like a cohesive unit. So that's a good thing.
You don't realise that, do you? I suppose when the pros here, we've had other English pros that have been here through the winter. So Dan will be at the Nets, obviously, as you've said. Has he gone back to Australia this winter and then he's coming back, or has he uprooted and he's settled over here now?
Good question. He has spent the winter over here. He's had a few different things to do.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. But he spent this winter here, and I think they've enjoyed it. They've had plenty of stuff to do.
Anything else from you, Dooch, around the club before we go on to the league and the rule changes and a few bits of gossip there? No,
nothing, Jez.
Okay, that's good. Let's hope the weather continues to improve a little bit. What's that? With some idiot driving the car on outfield at the club for half an hour.
The theory is that they've tried to drive off the ground and missed the exit, got to the groundsman's up and tried to turn round at the groundsman's up rather than just reversing back. They've actually turned the car around and gone on the pitch to turn the car around.
Okay, I'm sure Stan's pleased as punch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sure he'll get it sorted with his band of merry men and get it all up to speed before we start the season. Obviously, Dooch, I think you will have been involved in understanding this, whether you've been involved in the decisions from Lowerhouse, but the rule changes that have come in. Is there anything there that you're finding a little bit of a challenge for the season or not? I'm just going to go through them very quickly, just to keep our listeners and spectators up to speed with it. But have you any observations, Dooch, before I go through them?
The one I'm most interested in is the umpires requiring walkie-talkies. What on earth is that about?
I think
Can you shed any light on that?
Well, not a great deal other than what you will have been told by your league rep. I think it's more the issues. I don't think it was the umpires who really pushed for it. I think there was many clubs as umpires, and I think it's problems with rain-affected games or Duckworth-Lewis type incidents. Whilst we've probably got one of the best scorers in the league, if not the best, who keeps on top of everything, there are some games that do turn into a little bit of a free-for-all as to what score is required and how many runs off the next 10 overs, etc. So I think that's the main reason for getting them. Can't do any harm, can it?
So the intention is the umpires are going to communicate with the scorer via a walkie-talkie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think they're going to do? Chat to each other?
I was going to say, did you think it was to each other?
From square leg, yeah.
Save them walking to the middle.
How many balls are left in this over ump? I forgot. I've dropped one of my counters. Do they call each other?
Yeah,
you reckon?
call each other.
They don't, do they? They don't.
So yeah, so that's the rationale behind that, Dooch. And I don't think it could do any harm. I know that a lot of other leagues are doing it, and let's see. I mean, I'm sure there will be some funny moments from some of the scorers and some of the umpires and some of the likes of Stan getting hold of one and communicating. But let's see.
Obviously, we've got a tannoy at the club, haven't we? And when Warren DeFries is scoring, if he doesn't know the bowler's name, and this is like a third or fourth team game, he will shout over the tannoy, bowler's name.
Brilliant.
And expect them to tell him.
That's no different. It used to happen, didn't it? But it was like that. Bowler's name. A new rule has come in, Gaz. I don't know if you've seen it. With regard, all games will start at 12:30. Now, it clearly doesn't affect you. Clearly doesn't affect me. Other than if we're going over to watch a little bit, it was surprising, Gary, watching how many clubs wanted this.
And what was their reason for wanting an earlier start?
I think so. They're not finishing at 8:15. By the time they've had a shower and a change and a pint, they're getting home at half.
So time for each innings has changed. They're not just stretching the day out, trying to make sure they get a game in or anything.
I don't think so. No, I think it's 12 start every game in the hope that it finishes a touch earlier. I think there was some other proposals around a shorter tea break and all this sort of stuff, but maybe 45 overs. But it just reminded me of the time when we played, Gary, and Stan said that I think you were forcing people to turn up, where we used to turn up at 1:30 for a 1:45 start, and Gary said that he expected us all to get there for 1 o'clock, and Stan ranted and raved about it. If we have to arrive any earlier, I'll come the night before.
Yeah.
I don't know what he'd do now for an 12:30 start.
I think that's fair enough, but the problem is, back in hours, yes, that might have been all right. But you travel a lot further these days, don't you? So I guess some of the away games could be, make it a longer day, and that, well, longer day, but a bit more rushed in the morning, I guess. But I don't know. I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, times have changed a lot. I mean, I do remember, again, I'm showing my age here, a lot of people would work on a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning, and it was their overtime, and they couldn't get there before 1 o'clock or whatever. And Dooch, I think you remember, I think we were over at Littleborough, and there were a little bit of traffic and some roadworks, and it was 45, it was an hour to get home.
Yeah.
So, again, it's half an hour for 80% of the games. Another good rule change, I think. But again, the smaller clubs, if that's the right way of putting it, 2 sight screens at each end of the ground, which is hopefully save a bit of time in going and swapping them all around and everything.
There's a year's grace on that, Jez. I attended the AGM last night of the JW League, Lancashire.
Well, you
Lancashire
can
League, Premier League in brackets.
Yeah.
They've been given a year's grace on that. So. Okay.
Yeah, because it is a big ask, isn't it, I suppose, for some clubs.
Well, they're expensive.
Yeah. This always interests me since can't remember. I really noticed it when we used to play, but now, and it's been a debated over 2 or 3 years. The teams will now bowl their own ball. So for the listeners, since year dot, it was always a case of the team would bat their own ball. Now, it's always a brand new ball, certainly in first team games. And I can't remember it ever making any difference. I don't know if Dooch or Gary can shed any light on this. But there are some clubs that have made noises in the last 2 or 3 years that they definitely, when you're giving the ball for the opposition, the batting side are finding poorer balls to give to the bowling side, which I don't know if they watched a bit too much telly, but that can't be a bad move if that has been happening. So now teams will always bowl their own ball.
Do you know on the 12:30 one, Jez, in our league meeting, in our league setup thing, our club committee actually voted against it.
You did, or the committee did? All right, okay.
I wasn't.
What you need to know, Jez, is when Joe speaks in the committee meeting, it holds absolutely zero weight. He gets talked over. Nobody pays any attention to him or puts any stock in what he says in those meetings whatsoever.
So now, Jez, that's completely true. I mean, to be fair, it's of complete. It's not really of any use me being there. To be honest with you, I offer nothing.
That's a bit hard.
But I do. Well, now it is, Jez, because I just think it's pointless.
Yeah, but you've got a key for the end room if that's where you're going to the meetings.
Well, I haven't, though, have I?
Well, where's that?
Yeah. Well, you can get in twice. Let's put it that way.
I am going to get one cup for you.
Thank you.
Field circles are going to be in for 3rd-11. That's got to be good.
That was my idea.
That was your idea?
Yeah.
Well done.
Put it to Tony. Because I think that for development of 3rd and 4th 11 cricketers, when they go into the second team, it's hard to gauge where you need to stand relative to if you're feeling at point or at cover or whatever. If you've got no circle, it's like you just go and stand wherever you want. Whereas if you put circle in, you get that proper appraisal of where you need to be.
Yeah, and I think the kids would like it, and it would stop anyone, putting everyone on the edge, towards the end.
Definitely. Proper cricket.
Well done, Joe. Well done.
Thank you.
Reinvected rules will now come in for T20s, which is a must, really, when you think of some of the, no results, and I know they're not replayed. And then the chair, Tony Woodworth, throughout the season, we've been having a few complaints around the standards of the umpires' rooms at various clubs. So there's a minimum standard going to be put in place.
A lot of rubbish.
I mean,
do we have any idea what forms these minimum standards? Is it like bowls of freshly chopped fruit and chill champagne and caviar and things like that? No. What is it then, Jez? Come on, you obviously know what it is.
Well, see, your league rep should have explained it to you what the standard is. And it's just basic hygiene, I think. A chair. That's always useful. Somewhere to hang your jacket. A lockable door.
Showers?
Well, they went for it, but I don't think that's got through. There's, by all accounts, and I won't go into detail, obviously, some of the umpires are being asked to get changed or to be housed in areas where you, as Brendan Julian said once in our showers, I won't put cattle in there. And that's true, that Brendan Julian. Correct.
Yeah, funny quote, that. Funny quote.
Yeah, it was. So whilst it's might be difficult for some clubs to adhere to, we just, Dooch and Joe, you're so cynical about everything. There is nothing wrong with trying to improve in anything.
Completely agree, Jez.
I guess we can't have a game without them, can we, the umpires? We should probably look after them, shouldn't we?
I just think we look at the standards and we look at, there's nothing wrong with improving in anything we do.
That elite panel looks interesting, Jez.
Yeah,
I think that's a nice move forward, and a good thing for the umpires as well, because it means that they can, if they want to get on that pathway and improve and stuff like that, then that's a really good thing to do. So I hope that clubs embrace it as it should be.
I think they have done. I think the vast majority of the umpires have.
Good.
It's good on the senior umpires, the ones who are the better umpires and are more experienced. They've they have run along with it, and hopefully, like you said, they will. If they stood with lesser experienced or younger umpires, they might learn off them. So let's see what occurs. So we've had some emails and I think on social media asking what it was like as players, and did we have friends at any other clubs? I think it was Bill Sutherland who sent it in asking and what it was like. So Dooch, when you were playing, you played a significant amount of time. You were a high-profile player, captain, winning trophies. Did you have many friends at other clubs? And if so, who were they and how did you manage playing against them?
No, I didn't have any.
None whatsoever. I've heard
yeah, a couple. The two that I can think of off the top of my head were Andrew Spencer at Bay Cup. Spencer. And Graham Snedden at Accrington. And the only amusing tale I've got about either of them was Snedden, because we used to have a right crack with Sneds. When he would come out to bat, if he would walk past me on his way out to bat, I would look at the scoreboard, weigh up the game situation, and offer him a spread on his runs for a pint. And I don't think he ever took a pint off me. So I'd say, like, you'll not get 15 today, or you'll not get 20 today. And he'd always take me on, and he would never ever get 15 or 20.
Brilliant.
So he'd always buy me a pint. Spencer, he was a couple of years above me at school. We played a bit of golf away from cricket, and we always had a bit of crap when we played together against each other. Since I've stopped playing, oh, and I had to say as well, probably a few at Burnley lads. I mean, that might be a surprise to some, but you'd see them out and about more often than any of the other lads, just because of obviously we're in Burnley. I used to live next door to Dan Pickup when we were kids, really young kids. So Dan and Trevor.
Dan's a nice guy.
Dan's a
I
super
like
guy,
Dan.
isn't he?
He's a
Yeah.
good guy.
What was I going to say? Oh, I have to stop playing. There's some ex-cricketers who are members at the golf club now, like Andrew Payne, Andy McLeod, Nick Moulding. Although I don't know Nick particularly well, but Andrew McLeod and Payne I do know reasonably well. But that's about it, really. We didn't really. I don't know whether we weren't particularly popular or what. I don't know if other clubs were mates with lads from other clubs. I'm not sure. I don't think we were that friendly with anybody really.
Nick Moulding's the one who called Flegs an overseas amateur.
Oh, I'll have to remind him of that if next time I see him.
What
What about you, Jez? I mean, you played a hell of a lot longer than me. Who were your mates?
I purposely didn't want to be mates with them when we were playing.
Okay.
Paul Garrity from Nelson. I played football with Carrots. But it was horrible being his friend, and then because you could never get him out, one of the best players going, but Carrots were a lovely lad. And then because I worked in Rawtenstalls a lot of the time, there were quite a few Rawtenstalls ones that were friendly and would have a pint after the game. But you know what I was like when I was playing? I was always grumpy. I was always sulking if things weren't going right or someone dropped one. So I didn't really chat to many people when we were playing. But it is an interesting question because, like you said, some people are best mates. I think going back probably 15 years and then beyond, it was very rare that certainly, amateurs swap clubs over, whereas now it seems to be happening a little bit more. And also the Lancs League clubs come in. So what's it like now, Joe Martin, about people being friendly? Is it all a friendly league or not?
I think so. Pretty friendly with most people. I wouldn't describe us as best friends.
Yeah.
But
have you got any mobile numbers in your phone, Joe? Play some other clubs?
No.
None.
I don't think so. Unless from like a coaching point of view. Let's have a look through. This is a good game, isn't it?
Don't look through. It's not good
I am looking
podcast
through.
content.
No, it is. It's great. Do I have any? I have Amal Dalugoda. He plays at Greenmount, but Amal used to coach at Lowerhouse and is a good friend of mine. Dean Barlow, but he played at Lowerhouses.
Yeah, I don't think you can really count that. He played at Lowerhouse, didn't he?
Yeah, Jack Edgar. Ocky. Ocky's a good mate of mine. Finchy, he plays at Leyland.
They're not Lancashire League clubs, so that don't count.
Doesn't count. Okay.
That's quite a list you're putting together here, Joe.
It'd be a good team. Joe Halstead.
Be a crazy team, but yeah, go on.
Okay, what about anybody who didn't play at Lowerhouse? What about Sam Tucker? Have you got his number?
No.
No.
No. I don't have anybody else's number. And that's the list.
What about you?
Good content.
When you were playing, was there anyone there that was like best buddies with you?
I think I was pretty friendly. I grew up with Duncan Spencer and Paul Spencer. Knocked around with them quite a bit before, like in school and stuff like that. So yeah, when we played against them, I know Duncan was at Burnley for a bit, but when we played against them, quite entertaining. Couple of lads when I worked over Bacup Way, who were sort of all boys at Bacup, Jerry Cale and the like. But no, nobody else. I don't think I can regale any tales or tell any interesting stories about it.
No. So let's, if there's any other questions from
Jesse, weren't you friends with Brian Payne? Aren't you friends with Brian Payne?
Yeah, I said when I worked in Rawtenstalls, I had
Yeah, you did.
there that was.
He's a nice
I'd have
chap as
thought
well.
you'd have
I
had a
like
lot
Brian.
more friends than that, Jez.
Not big as KSC, that, you know me.
All right, okay.
Lumber, you're barking up the wrong tree with that one.
Do you know one of the things,
apologies.
Jez? I think the things that people find amusing at different clubs is very different. So I think you don't. I don't have a lot in common with other people.
No.
In general.
No, I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. So let's go on to. I wanted to do this before we got the guest on. So, what are our thoughts between us all around the new coach that's just been announced at Rawtenstalls? I'll go to you, Joe Martin. What's your thoughts?
I mean, it's a good move for Rawtenstalls. Yeah. Good move for Rawtenstalls. He's a very good coach.
Should we say who it is for people and people may not be aware?
Yeah.
Frankie.
But important to say he's not playing for Rawtenstalls. That's important to note. So I think that's the thing. I think people might read it on the Lancashire website and go, "Oh, he's gone as he's coaching there and playing." He's definitely not playing for Rawtenstalls.
That was going to be my question. Yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
I don't know him like you guys know him, but
No.
But yeah, reading that, that'd be your first question.
Mm.
Is he going to play for us at all? And is he allowed to?
Do you know, that's a wonderful question, Jez. Certainly the second part of it, because if you wanted to be a coach, because I think, can you be a coach at another club and play for a different one? I don't know. I presume you can.
Why not?
You could kind of say it's your job, couldn't you? But if you were trying to get paid by your own club, then you could argue that you're being paid to play, I guess. I don't know.
What about the first part of the question?
Don't really know that either, but he could. He might do, but he might not.
Riveted. Absolutely
can I-
riveted.
Does that answer your question?
Can I just add that the plans are being made without him?
Right, okay.
Good.
He's got a bit of a bizarre relationship with cricket.
Yeah.
He's a very complicated character, as you all know, and he does have a bit of a strange relationship with cricket, and it's a strained relationship between him and the game. And it was a bit of a struggle for him at times for motivation throughout the last couple of years, and I think he's decided that he needs a break, maybe an indefinite one.
Right, okay. There'll be a miss, certainly the last 3 or 4 years that his batting's, he held things together, didn't he? I know he wasn't bowling much at all, but, good luck to him. And I'm sure people will benefit at Rawtenstalls at his experience of coaching there. So we'll go on. The spreadsheet is opened at last for the draw. So if we can, we'll go to the guest. Paddy Martin has been announced as the chair of the ladies section at Lowerhouse Cricket Club. Is he there with you, Joe?
He's not. He's fixing my sister's door handle. He's not here. He is on emergency duty helping my sister.
So let's get this right. We planned about 10 days ago to have the podcast on Monday, just gone, with brother Patrick on. We all changed arrangements around for the Monday.
Sure.
Patrick then decided he couldn't do the Monday and could only do the Thursday. So we rearranged all our arrangements, including Gav being unavailable to come on, and he's gutted. And Paddy's not here because an handle's dropped off.
It seems like you're mad at me, Jez, but I'm not. I'm here.
Yeah, but can you tell us all about the ladies section and how you're going to manage the different aspects of it?
I'll give it a go.
And talk like your brother.
I don't think I can do that. But I can give it a go. If you've got any questions, I'll try and answer them.
It's a great.
How many ladies players have we got?
I don't know that.
Okay. Who the team going to play against?
I don't know that either.
Okay.
But no, let me start from the beginning. So there is an ECB directive out for Premier Leagues now that they need a girls and women's section. And
Each club
obviously
within a Premier League needs to have
each club, yeah, definitely. And that's a great thing. Because at the minute, for our teams, for example, all mixed teams, it doesn't matter what gender you will play in those teams. But it's also perfectly reasonable for girls and women to want to play in single sex teams. And it's only right that they're given the opportunity by which to do so. And if we can facilitate that, then that's a really good thing. So this directive is out for all clubs. We've gone early with it. Obviously, Rami already have that set up, and we do have a good number of girls that play at the club now, admittedly at different ages. But when you kind of develop that section, it will obviously spread, and you've got dynamos and all stars that's going to directly feed into some of those teams. So I think it's a really good initiative. More opportunity for people, more access, more people at the club as well. So that's the idea behind it. Initially, it will be a girls section, so not senior cricket, but there will be teams and coaching. I think up to 18, but that can be kind of confirmed later down the line. And obviously starting from the youngest age groups at the minute, which are under nines.
It can only be good, Joe. And when you think of, the pedigree from Lowerhouse, which is really, it's all credit to the likes of Ben, and Stan that's encouraged this to come along, and Charlie with Eliza. That we've had the two. Well, there's more than Eliza and Liberty, isn't there?
Definitely. When you look at the pipeline of cricketers at the club, especially for the women and girls, we've developed a good number of girls county cricketers. So you've got Lib that's played England level. Grace Johnson, who's a county cricketer now, played at Lowerhouse, now at Rami. But then you've got Eliza, Anya Laraway, Georgie Holt, who played Lancashire second team cricket. I think she played some first team games as well. And a whole host of players underneath them as well. You've got Taylor DeVries, who's been in Lancashire set up. So there's quite a good track record of developing girl cricketers that are playing for Lancs. And hopefully this will create even more and give them more opportunity by which to develop the skills and play in a whole host of different teams. And there can be even more people like Lib and Eliza. Eliza's out in India at the minute, which is fantastic. And she's doing really well. So, fantastic work by those already. And hopefully it can continue with this.
Yeah, brilliant. It's got to be, it's obviously going to be, it's a good thing. Get people, so people who are listening, whether it's, the young girls or the young boys, get them down to the club and, and seek Stan out and it's good on Paddy for taking this on.
Are we working with schools or anything like that, Joe, on that front, just to try and, rather than, I'm not saying we're just waiting for existing members to have young daughters coming through or anything like that, but, we've got to recruit from somewhere, haven't we?
Sure, definitely. That's a great question. Great question, Gary. So there will be bits of engagement with schools to, raise awareness around some of these things. We have links with Burnley Football Club, and I know that might sound a bit weird, but they have They do have a cricket section, and they also go into schools, and one of their coaches helps coach at Lowerhouse as well. I don't know all the details on that, but there are links outside the membership, if you like, that we're going to be able to tap into. So it looks really positive, actually, and actually is probably the wrong word to add on the end of that. It looks really positive, I think. Really good access.
Brilliant. Good work. Right, we'll move on to the draw. Does anyone, just as an aside, I was just flicking through the website, does anyone look at the recently added scorecard section?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, great. It's great fun.
Our second team, there's one come on from Todd. Obviously, Todd had found a load of scorebooks. 1995. The second team there, Gary, they'd be probably better than us in first team. Ted Whittle, Frank, Terry Small, great bowler, Phil Astin, Peter Gaynor, Jerry Daw, bless his soul, Iggy, Shez, Ryan, Rusty. What a side.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
Got beat with Todd, though.
Look at Shez's figures.
39 for 4.
He could play, Shez. And he's a rock star.
Those figures with four jumpers on as well.
No socks.
Trainers.
Yeah.
I once asked him about that, Gaz, and his response was, "Well, yeah, I'm an idiot."
Oh yeah, okay, let's move on.
Cheers.
Agreed.
They're back together, aren't they? Complete Control. I've seen there's a few gigs.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because they had a spat, didn't they, I think, and they all fell out, and then they've announced quite a few gigs around Accrington.
We'll be getting a call soon, Joe, for roadie / driver /
Yeah.
security.
Yeah. Do you know, he's got a really heavy mic stand. It's quite difficult to carry.
Bass, heavy metal.
Punk, innit?
Does it make you carry it?
No, but I go and help because he's got a series of items that he needs to take with him.
Right.
He has like a kit bag that he takes. I don't know what's in it.
So it could almost be a little bit like that pro we had that year who said to Wall, "Go fetch my bag." Shez says to you, "Go collect my kit bag."
Stand. To take an amp as well.
Right.
He doesn't really need an amp, does he?
Right. Draw.
Powerful voice.
This is the February draw. We're doing well at keeping up with these. I sometimes get 3 or 4 months behind. So I've still not paid one from last month because I just need to find my checkbook and deal with that completely separately. But this month is the normal.
Mr. Gregory.
Do you mean Alan?
Yeah, that's the one. On Laura Crescent.
Yeah.
Well done, Mr. Gregory.
It's Mr.
Mr. Gregory.
That I need to get a check to. I'm struggling to transfer it, and
funny.
so there is now 4 prizes: £100, £80, £70, and £50. So let's hope that we get some good winners out of this time, please, Joe Martin.
Sure.
So if you can get your randomly generated number app.
Yep.
Roll them around and give us a number between 1 and 177.
Number 52.
Number 52. That number is free. So we need to draw it again.
Number 64.
Number 64 is Jean.
Gregory.
No, it's Jean. Jean Hay.
Gregory.
I'm quite sure.
Who is it, Jez? Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, Jean. It's Mrs. Jean Hay. Jean has 2 numbers. Been in since April 2021. So well done, Gene.
Well done, Gene.
Well done, Gene.
Coming your way. The next one, please, Joe.
Number 95.
Laura Wren.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, Laura.
Excellent. Worthy winner.
Laura Wren, daughter of Judith and sister to Andrew and daughter to the late David, who is so much esteemed down at the cricket club. So well done, Laura.
We need to interview them, Jez.
Yeah, I did do one game last year. It's on my phone. I might send it you.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
See if you can extract any bits. It's funny, really, because Laura, you know, I'm in contact with Judith. She helps me out with finding some of the people who I need to pay on here. Mr. Jack Lee got in touch through Judith. But I believe Judith pays for Laura and Andrew's numbers, which I find ridiculous. They should pay for their own at this stage. So I might send it to Judith. So another number, please, Joe, for £70.
Number 89.
He won last month and he's richest bloke at the club.
No, it's not again, is it? He plays.
Yeah?
He's won again.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
And how many numbers does he have? Does he just have one number?
Yeah, one number. Well done, Chris.
Well done, Chris.
Another popular winner.
£70 to be your £80 last month. I'll tell you what as well, I'll just, because I message him straight away and say, look, Chris, you've won this, I'll send it you. And I don't have any bank details for him. So he has me sending it to Lindsay's account and then Lindsay gives him cash. That's got to be some sort of money laundering.
Yeah.
Like, he won't let me send it to him. So well done, Chris. The last prize, February 2025, for £50. Draws a number, please, Joe.
177.
Is Jeff Salisbury. Jeff's he's one of the canteen lot who comes on and stands on the steps, supports the club for years. He did win in March 23, but well done, Jeff. Generally likes cash on a match day, so I'll get that to you.
Nice.
Good work. Thanks, Joe. And again, anyone who's listening who wants to join, we have had quite a few new joiners, but also you can get these free numbers snapped up, so that'd be great. Where's Gaz gone? It's done one.
I think he was disgusted with that draw, so he's just dropped off.
Yeah, because Blazers won.
He couldn't stand another Blizzard winner.
No. So everyone, thanks ever so much for listening. It's soon be the start of the season, so we can meet up. Hopefully, nice sunny weather, and we can get together, have a pint, and watch the house. Hopefully, have a good start to the season. Joe Martin, thanks ever so much for coming on and assisting with it. Thanks very much, Dooch. Don't forget to like and subscribe and everything else on social media and support our sponsors. Thanks very much, everyone, and goodbye.
Order! Send Morehouse to save the house.